Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Clocked In with the Press, hosted at Altman Studios in beautiful downtown Brentwood, California. In this podcast, we highlight news stories, individuals, and organizations that deserve your attention. This is your host, Melissa Van Rooten, clocking in. Today, we'll be talking with Mojdeh Mehdeizedah, interim Chancellor of the Contra Costa Community College District, also known as the 4CD. But first, let's hear a quick word from this episode's sponsor.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at the Lucas Group, an independently owned and operated real estate company in Brentwood. The Lucas Group specializes in all aspects of real estate, working with both buyers and sellers to meet their home ownership needs. Give them a call today at 925-392-8926.
Thanks so much. Welcome to our show, Mojdeh. We're so happy to have you here. Why don't you go ahead and just take a little moment and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. So a little bit about me. Again, my name is Mojdeh Mehdeizedah. I have the honor of serving as the interim chancellor for the Contra Costa Community College District. I have been with the district for 35 years.
That's crazy because you look amazing. So 35 years, I'm like, come on, you started when you were like 8?
8 is a good year. Yes. Let's say I was 8 years old when I started. Yes. So I actually started as a student at Diablo Valley College and really have had an opportunity to build my career trajectory starting at Diablo Valley College and moving on to the district office, where I reside today in lovely downtown Martinez.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so what inspired you to enter the education field, but more specifically, community college?
I think so much of it has to do with the fact that I am a product of the community college, and it is the community college that ultimately inspired me. As a first-generation college student myself, my family and I emigrated to the United States when I was actually 8 years old. And I had the pleasure of continuing and moving into higher education by being a student at Diablo Valley College and ultimately moving on for my bachelor's and master's degree at other state community colleges within California. So I've really had the pleasure of being a product of public higher education here in the state of California. And I am so proud of the fact that the community colleges really truly build leaders. And I have had the pleasure of serving in that capacity really here at the Contra Costa Community College District.
Community colleges, they're so important. I actually attended a community college back east where I grew up, and they're such a great way to kind of prepare you to move on, get some of those gen ed requirements out of the way, get a taste of what college is like, and it doesn't really force you into making decisions that you're maybe not prepared for, if that makes sense.
I think that makes an incredible amount of sense, especially as we know, young folks today are trying to discover themselves. Having been in that capacity myself, I started at the college thinking that I was going to become an accountant.
I went to school for theater and dance, so we are both not in the fields that we started out in.
No.
But that's the beauty of it, right? You're not expending a ton of money at a private four-year school to get halfway through and realize, oh, this isn't what I want to do. And now I'm back at square one. I've seen so many friends of mine go through that.
Precisely the point of really starting off at a community college. What I found was, for me personally, I was able to complete my first 2 years of higher education at Diablo Valley College, and then continue on as I transferred personally to San Francisco State. But obviously UC Berkeley is one of our top feeder transfer institutions. UC Davis, certainly San Francisco State, Cal State East Bay, and so many others. So the opportunities are kind of endless for students that start with us.
We have so many great colleges in the area. We're really lucky. So for those who might not know, what colleges comprise the 4CD?
Excellent question. So we have 3 colleges and 2 official centers. So here in East County, we have the beautiful Los Medanos College. And I hope folks have an opportunity to visit Los Medanos College. If you haven't been there in the last 5 years, You'll be surprised. And then we also have the Brentwood campus, the Brentwood Center of Los Medanos College, also a brand new facility. We also have in Central County, Diablo Valley College and the Pleasant Hill campus of the Diablo Valley College. And then the San Ramon campus of Diablo Valley College, which is located in South County. And then as we move further west, we have Contra Costa College, actually our first college within the Contra Costa Community College District.
So what does being the chancellor of a college district involve?
Oh, so many things. No 2 days are ever the same, which is what really makes it such a wonderful experience. I think the best part really is the fact that we frankly do transform the lives of our students in our communities. I spend a lot of time, frankly, talking to folks across our community, certainly our faculty leaders, our classified professionals, an incredible array of managers, but most importantly, direct focus on students and what the needs of our students are in order for them to be successful and ultimately thrive within our communities and beyond. And so that's really our focus. So much of what I do throughout the day is talking to individuals and, larger groups and such, but always with a very direct and strategic focus, and that is what is in the best interest of our students.
Wonderful. And so what does a typical day in the office look like for you?
Well, most recently, it involves spending a considerable amount of time on Zoom.
Oh, man. That's maybe one thing that I won't miss when it goes away. I like person-to-person interactions, and Zoom just didn't do it for me.
I completely understand. I, too, am a people person and love being between and among, frankly, our students in our community. So it's harder, but it is frankly, has been our reality over the last 2 years. And we have gotten to be really good at it.
So your official title is interim chancellor, at least until June of 2024. Do you plan on pursuing your position permanently? And why or why not?
I think that's a really good question. Frankly, as I mentioned, being a product of the community college system, my entire focus is really on what's in the best interest of our district. Maybe the best way to say it is I have a true love for the Contra Costa Community College District, like a genuine love for the district. And the governing board, I believe, recognized that I was the right person at the right time to step into the role of interim chancellor. And as I have an opportunity to assess future opportunities, it really will be about what is in the best interest of the Contra Costa Community College District and ultimately our students.
And so if you decide that maybe serving as chancellor isn't what best serves the college district, you'll stay in some capacity, I hope.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so
perfect.
My permanent position, I will call it, is that of Executive Vice Chancellor for Educational Services and Technology.
Tell me a little bit about that.
It is a fun role. In that particular role, I work with all 3 of our colleges, really developing educational policy, providing support, assessing how we deliver student services to all of our students and prospective students, and ensuring that our technology resources are up to snuff and that students are getting the best experience from the moment in which they reach out to us.
So you're already like an old pro at Zoom before all that.
Zoom has been in our lives for some time, just considerably more than we had imagined previously.
Which is great for the Zoom execs, right?
It is. It is. It's also wonderful actually for our students, right? Because, obviously COVID had an impact on the educational experience for our students. And one of the, I think, wonderful things that we did at the Contra Costa Community College District is we focused that summer of 2020 on getting over 1,200 of our faculty members really, really engaged in learning how to deliver instruction utilizing the various technology platforms and resources. And I think that's ultimately what's led to students being successful and wanting more online classes. So even today, as our students are back on campus, we're finding that a lot of them are still interested in taking at least some of their classes online because they've learned that their instructors know how to deliver the instruction online in an effective way. And now, they can balance their work lives, their family lives, and all of that without, oftentimes commutes and everything else that comes with it. So a really nice balance.
It's really important that transition still kind of remains in effect. I know as a mom who is looking to possibly take some classes at LMC, online is really the way to go with a full-time job. And, I still kind of part-time run my own business. So that's really a boon for people like me, other students that maybe work full-time and need a more flexible schedule. And let's be real, we all know that traffic sometimes can be a beast in this area. So, traveling back and forth takes a lot of time out of your and it's even more amazing, I think, that the college district took the effort to train all the faculty members on that. I wish there was some sort of training for parents, because for that first distance learning right after everything shut down, and I had 2 kids that I was having to log in and set everything up, and I'm pretty technically savvy. But man, it was a lot to keep up with. And we didn't do it the next year. We homeschooled because I was like 2 different schedules, all these different assignments. I'm like, I'm just going to do it for myself. But
parents are heroes.
Oh,
parents are absolutely
teachers,
heroes.
Parents. It's been an interesting couple of years.
It really has. I think what's exciting, though, also is, certainly you talked about yourself and as a parent coming back and taking classes, right, at Los Medanos College. And I think that's what's, again, one of the really kind of exciting things about the community college system as a whole, and our colleges in particular, is that we serve the whole gamut. We have students that are, as young as 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And we have folks that are, in their upper 90s still taking classes with us. Yes.
You're never at the wrong age to learn, I feel. And you should make a commitment to keep learning until the day you die. Like, if you just decide, I'm just going to stop learning, like, life may as well be over right then and there if you're not open to learning new things. So we're going to take a quick sponsor break. But when we come back, Mojdeh will tell us what is on the horizon for the 4CD.
Today's sponsor, the Lucas Group, has been in business since 2005 and is now offering clients the most cutting-edge solutions in property technology through HomeLight's suite of products and services. Simple sales, trade-ins, and cash offers. For simple sales, the Lucas Group makes selling your home easy. Sell when you're ready without the hassle of paying for repairs, prepping for listing, or dealing with showings. Receive a competitive, no-obligation cash offer, typically within 48 hours. Close in as little as 10 days. If you would like to avoid the stress, risk, and hassle of buying and selling at the same time, the Lucas Group can help with a trade-in, a calmer, more certain alternative to real estate. They will buy your current home, giving you the freedom to buy your new home. And if your current home sells for more than the price of your new home, the Lucas Group pays you the difference, minus the selling costs. If you want to triple your winning potential, the Lucas Group has a cash offer program. The Lucas Group will help you make the strongest offer possible with a 21-day close for free. That means no program or lender fees. Call the Lucas Group's award-winning agents today at 925-392-8926.
Thanks again to our sponsor. Now, I know that the Los Medanos Brentwood Center just had its grand opening. And before that, the new Student Union and Athletic and Kinesiology buildings at the Pittsburgh LMC campus opened, which are also beautiful and state-of-the-art. What are some other exciting things that are on the horizon for the district?
Well, I think you certainly talked about some of the new buildings and facilities, which certainly are at Los Medanos College, but, across our district, we've seen major improvements to our Diablo Valley College campus, and that continues to be the case as we have a beautiful new art facility opening up shortly.
See, now you're speaking my language.
Very exciting, very exciting. And at Contra Costa College, we just opened up a gorgeous new science center. Ooh. Yes. But aside from, frankly, the incredible work that we're doing to ensure that our facilities are facilities that truly educate, that's what our facilities are about, right? We also have a lot of other kind of exciting endeavors. One of the things that I want to share with you is our dual enrollment programs. And what that means is that our high school students across Contra Costa County and certainly in East County have an opportunity to enroll in college classes while they're in high school. And what we're finding is that more and more of our high school graduates are completing the first 1 to 2 years of their college requirements, which means that they can transfer when they get their high school diploma, they are starting college oftentimes as a sophomore or junior.
Oh, wow. That's really incredible.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. And it's such a benefit for taxpayers.
Sure.
I don't know if our community knows, the community college system, we charge $46 a unit typically for classes. So, for just in the $140 range, you get a class completed. However, for our high school students, it's free.
Oh, see, and I had thought I heard it was $1, but free is even better.
Yes, so the enrollment fee actually is fully waived. And aside from our current high school students, we also offer what's called our T3 program, first time, full-time, free tuition program.
Wonderful.
So anyone in the community who chooses to enroll in any of our colleges as a first-time student, as long as they enroll in 12 or more credits, so that's equivalent to about 4 classes a semester, their enrollment fees are fully waived.
That's amazing. I love California.
We're very lucky. We also have currently in place, but also an expansion is on the horizon of what we call our zero textbook cost program.
Oh,
so that's another
good
barrier, right? Oftentimes to education.
They are not cheap, and especially college textbooks. I learned that in my time in college. And then, the bookstore is like, oh yeah, we'll buy back the used ones, but it's never anywhere close to what you paid for it. Or if they're moving on to a new edition, they might not even buy it back. So that is a wonderful, and I know online textbooks have become more of a thing, PDFs that the instructors have available for you to download. So that's huge as well.
Yes, so all open educational resources and zero textbook costs. And students can actually, when they look for classes available, they can actually select to bring back only sections that have the zero textbook cost option.
Amazing.
So we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for our community to get the education they deserve at little to no cost.
That's really amazing. And right now is enrollment for the fall semester. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Instruction begins August 19th.
Oh, that's even before my oldest starts school. They're homeschooled, but through a charter. And we may actually look into some exploratory classes at LMC this year or the Brentwood Center, just kind of depending on where the classes that they might want to check out are offered. So that is something that we've discussed, and I don't know if it'll happen fall semester or spring semester, but we're very much take it as it comes, but I would not be surprised for them to end up at LMC at some point.
We would love to see your children there. We do also offer classes we call them late start classes. Mm-hmm. Frankly, we have classes that start kind of throughout the semester, many of which start kind of in the second half.
Interesting.
Yes, so October is another kind of
nice,
wonderful opportunity.
It makes it easier for people who maybe are feeling a little bit of trepidation. I know, my oldest is still a senior, but I can speak for myself. After graduation, I didn't know if I was ready to go on to college, and it really flavors the experience as a whole. Are you going to go and apply yourself as much as you might, or are you going for more of the experience of it and the meeting people? That ended up kind of being more my thing. I was heavily involved in the theater program, which was amazing on its own, but I maybe could have done a little bit better in my academic classes. Not that I was bad. My focus wasn't ready for it yet. And so to have that option is really great. Take a little longer and then have that later start. Also, it's really hot to go back to school in August.
Our facilities are air conditioned, I have to tell you. They're lovely, lovely air
They're
conditioned
beautiful facilities.
Yes.
So you, as you've mentioned, have been with the 4CD for quite a while. what has been one of your more challenging moments?
I don't know that I would describe a particular moment. What I can share, however, is when we find ourselves in a position that we aren't serving students that need us the most, it's really troubling. And I can share that, with COVID, what we found, certainly we had a drop in our enrollment. And what we found is, frankly, those in our community that need us the most were oftentimes those that have been most impacted by, COVID and the challenges that it has brought to families and individuals.
For sure.
It's really challenging for us to see that we have lost that population that frankly needs us the most. And we are working diligently to ensure that we provide the wraparound support services that they need to come back to us. So, for example, all 3 of our colleges have food banks.
I was just about to shout that out. It's something that I learned on the tour of the new student union.
Quite beautiful, no questions asked. Come in, we will support you. We know that one cannot be educated when they're having really food challenges, food insecurities. And we are very much there for our community from that perspective as well. And then mental health challenges. That's the other thing that we really recognize was happening or is happening throughout our communities, and having the opportunity to provide counselors to speak to and individuals that can help our students and our communities talk through the challenges that they're experiencing, we think is key.
I think that is also, and I've said it probably about 1 million times on several different podcasts, mental health just is not talked about enough and still remains a taboo subject because of that. And more people than you realize live with some sort of mental illness. And it really is, I know there's a lot of talk about invisible diseases, but you just never know. And so to have those resources in place, especially with younger people who are experiencing the bigger world, I'll be honest, that was the time that I really found myself needing a lot of mental health resources. And they're invaluable. Being able to go to a location and know you're covered for your education, you're covered for nutrition, should you need it, with the food pantry, and you're covered for any mental health issues that you might need as well.
It's the community college for you. That is 4CD. Yes.
It's wonderful. So what would you consider one of your most rewarding moments?
Always the students, I have to tell you. So I'll share one particular kind of story with you. I serve on the board of an organization called the Kennedy King Scholarship Association. They're an incredible association, an incredible board that supports our transferring students, those that transfer to 4-year institutions, by providing them scholarships and mentorship. And I serve not just on the board, but I also serve as a mentor to that program. What is absolutely amazing is staying connected with our students as they continue on and graduate, with their 4-year degrees, and oftentimes continue on with their master's and doctoral degrees, and come back and share their experiences with you and articulate really the difference that you have made. And by you, I mean the community colleges have made in the lives of not only that individual, but really, frankly, their families, right? It's so rewarding when they bring their little cousin or little brother by and, introduce you to, a little cousin that is thinking about their future and already sees themselves as a college-going student. That is incredibly rewarding.
I can imagine. It just sounds, just to have a part and to see your students grow and succeed at what they set their mind to, and know that you and the college district as a whole had a hand on that. I can't think of much that would be more rewarding. That's really nice.
And I think what's often not known is the fact that we're incredibly diverse in terms of racial and ethnic diversity. As a district, over 70% of our students are Latinx, API, combination thereof, African American, and so many of those individuals that come to us, we are kind of their gateway to higher education. Not only their gateway to higher education, but they are the first in their families, just like me. They're the first in their families to go to college. And it's just so exciting and rewarding where they come back and say, I've done it. And now other members in my family will too.
That's wonderful. And sometimes all you need is to know that that path is open for you.
Yes.
And you can take it and forge it for others that are going to come behind you. If I'm not mistaken, I think that I heard Dr. Cradaville mention at one of the speeches I saw him make that the 4CD is it's in the top 10% of community college districts in the United States. When I graduated and went to school, it was almost like a bad word. You'd think, oh, community college, like, why aren't you going to a regular college? And there was a lot of stigma attached to it, and I'm not going to lie, when I wasn't accepted to my college of choice, and so that was my fallback option, I wasn't super thrilled at first. If I could take it all back now, all my grumbling and grumping about it, I absolutely would, because it built me to be the person that I am today. But it's not just me, it's so many people. And there are really amazing professors at community college, and people don't realize there's no shame in that. Again, like I said at the beginning, go get your base and then decide what you want to move on to or where you want to move on to without really sacrificing anything.
And frankly, beyond that, really finding yourself. It's so much easier to find yourself when you are, frankly, in a classroom with 30 others, which is about our average class size, then transferring directly to a 4-year where, oftentimes you sit in a class with 450 others.
Crazy
right? To me. The other piece that folks don't necessarily know, most of our teachers, most of our professors have PhDs and EDDs. Right? So you are getting incredibly qualified, quality faculty members whose sole focus is teaching, right? We're not a research institution like some of our 4-year partners, right? So our faculty, their reason for being is to be in a classroom with you, right? And in order to support the students that they have before them. So it's just,
I love it.
It's
And
incredible.
Imparting all the knowledge that they have
Yes.
gained in their years of school and teaching. I think that's wonderful.
A lot of love, frankly, is what you get, I think, at the community college, recognizing that you are in a smaller community. Although I can't say we're that small, right?
We've
have
grown exponentially,
Yes.
even in the 7 years that I've been out here. But still, the fact that the district has been able to grow with that. I mean, when I first moved out here, the Brentwood Center was in a shopping center. And so to see it go from that to the beautiful building that we have out on Vineyard Parkway now, both that and the the new buildings at LMC, I will say I have not visited the DBC campus or the Contra Costa College campus yet. I'm sure that, again, with a senior, we'll see it eventually, but I know that the new buildings, a lot of care was put into their planning and their design. They're not, these ugly college buildings that sometimes you see at other places. They're new, they're modern, they blend really nicely with the landscape, which is huge. They have a lot of energy saving, solar and
LEED certified.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to think of. LEED certification or LEED certified buildings. It's really great. It's really great to see the district moving in that direction.
Thank you. And we do serve over 12,000 students right here in East County at the Pittsburgh and Brentwood campuses of Los Medanos College.
Amazing. So before we go, is there I know we talked about a ton. Is there anything else that you might like our listeners to know?
Frankly, reiterating that college is for everyone. I think you said that beautifully as you kind of described your own kind of family and background and your children and their future. Recognizing that truly college is for everyone, and it is about lifelong learning. At our colleges, we have an array of offerings, certainly for those who are interested in transferring, right, completing their first 2 years and transferring, but also we have some wonderful career education programs that are available.
So important.
Everything from, drone technology to nursing, just truly an array of offerings. And then we have classes for those that just have a love of learning, right? So certainly if you are interested in the arts, you can take classes that lead to degrees and certifications in a variety of fields within art, but you can also just take a class in watercolors, right? Just to take a class and to get better at something.
And is auditing still a thing? Is that something that, or has that kind of fallen out of
We don't do
vogue?
so much, in the world of auditing, but many of our courses can be taken in a credit, non-credit fashion. We also have non-credit classes for those that, again, kind of as you described, are interested in taking a class and
learning something new. Sure.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. That is it for today's episode of Clocked In with the Press. Thank you so much to Mojdeh for taking time out of her busy schedule to talk with us. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen in. Be sure to tune in next week when we'll be talking to Vincent Baldwin from East County Revolution Football Club, or soccer for us U.S. people. Also, be sure to tune in on Fridays for our weekly news and sports updates. If you would like to read more news stories of East Contra Costa County, you can do so through our website at www.thepress.net or through our Twitter, Instagram, and coming soon to TikTok at thepress_net. If you have any thoughts on this episode or any other before it, you can email them to podcasts@brentwoodpress.com. That's all we have for you today, but I look forward to next time. This is Melissa
and Mojdeh clocking out.
When it comes to the home of your dreams, a trusted realtor can help with every step of your home buying journey. The Lucas Group is committed to excellence and personal service in all their sales. Their award-winning team is dedicated to putting their clients' needs first and consists of some of the top local agents. The Lucas Group has partnered with HomeLight Inc. and is now an elite certified agent partner for simple sales, trade-ins, and cash offers. Call the Lucas Group at 925-392-8926.